The year was 1980. Every other day, a brand new song would drop and suddenly shoot to the top of the charts. It felt like musical magic was in the air. But as fast as some of these hits rose, they quickly vanished. Come along with us as we travel a nostalgic journey through a fascinating list of one-hit wonders from the year 1980. Keep watching till the end as we explore one artist who just let fame roll from his grip without a care in the world. Starting at number 10, Turning Japanese by The Vapors. Dropping a wild little track with a contagious beat, The Vapors had their first mega hit in just about every place that sells records, with their song Turning Japanese. With its snappy guitar riffs, quirky lyrics, and a chorus that gets stuck in everyone's head, the song just exploded. It shot to number 3 in the UK, went all the way to number 1 in Australia, and even cracked the top 40 in the US. Ironically, the song wasn't received well in Japan, as the title and chorus may have come off as insensitive or reductive to Japanese listeners and their culture. The Vapors' follow-up singles like News at 10 and Jimmy Jones didn't catch fire. But here's the thing, lightning doesn't strike twice. Their second album, Magnets, came out, and yeah, it pretty much sank without a trace. Turning Japanese came and went like it never existed. And by 1982, the Vapors, with one iconic wonder, quietly called it quits and disbanded. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, then please hit the like and subscribe buttons so we can bring you more content like this. Number 9, Funky Town by Lip Sync. Another disco banger that lit up the 80s was Funky Town, released in 1980 and featured the powerhouse vocals of Cynthia Johnson. The song was a shimmering, synth-heavy anthem all about chasing your dreams in a better, funkier place. And let me tell you, people were obsessed. It wasn't just a vibe, it was a global takeover. The track hit number 1 in 28 countries, and apart from that, it topped the Billboard Hot 100 and sold over 8 million copies worldwide. No one could escape from it because it was played everywhere. But the ride didn't last forever. By 1983, Cynthia Johnson had left the project. She went on to have a solid career as a session vocalist and joined the Grammy-winning gospel group Sounds of Blackness. As for Lips Inc., with Johnson gone, the momentum faded. The band quietly fizzled out, closing the curtain on their brief but iconic moment in the disco spotlight. Number 8. Everybody's Got to Learn Sometime by the Corgis. Sometimes one song is all it takes, not just to skyrocket an artist into fame, but to add their name into music history forever. And sometimes, that same hit becomes both a blessing and a curse. Everybody's Got to Learn Sometime was exactly that from the Corgis. From their album Dumb Waiters, released in 1980, the song was notable for its simple, sparse lyrics paired with a direct, emotional message. James Warren, the lead singer of the band, said it took them almost 10 to 15 minutes to write the song, which is incredible, considering it went on to become a chart-topping hit. The single became an international phenomenon. It shot straight to number 5 on the UK singles chart. And it didn't stop there. It also claimed the number 18 spot on the US Billboard Hot 100. But here's where the story takes a turn. Despite their monumental success, the Corgis struggled to follow up with anything that matched its impact of Everybody's Got to Learn Sometime. Before the release of their next album, Sticky George, the band took a drastically different direction. Over the years, with the fading fame of their hit song, members Andy Cresswell Davis, Stuart Gordon, and Phil Harrison left the band, and James Warren decided to go solo. The band broke up in the mid-1980s, but has reunited off and on since the 1990s. At number 7, Who Will Be the Fool Tonight by Larsson-Feiten Band. The Larsson-Feiten Band had a pretty wild journey. Very few would expected that the guy behind their hit song was in the army during the Vietnam War. Neil Larson was born in Cleveland, Ohio, and grew up in Sarasota, Florida. He learned to play the piano when he was young, inspired by jazz legends like Miles Davis and John Coltrane, with a dash of rock mixed in as well. In 1969, Neil got drafted and went to Vietnam. Instead of being on the front lines, he was put in charge of the music and was promoted to band director, putting together shows and entertainment for American soldiers. Pretty cool, right? After the war, he moved to New York City to chase his music dreams, and that's where everything really began. He worked with big-name artists, played in studios, and started building a name for himself. Then in 1980, he teamed up with guitarist Larsson-Feiten, and they dropped their hit song, Who Will Be the Fool Tonight? It was smooth, emotional, and insanely catchy.
Come on, baby.
The song climbed to number 29 on the Billboard charts and became their biggest hit. The band's place in the spotlight dimmed, and the noise around them slowly faded. Over time, the band quietly broke up. Their one hit is still a hidden gem. At number 6, Only a Lonely Heart Sees, by Felix Cavalere. Another rock hit that shot the artist into fame was Only a Lonely Heart Sees. The mastermind behind this hit was once preparing for a career in medicine. Felix Cavalere was actually enrolled at Syracuse University in the early 1960s as a pre-med major. But while he was hitting the books, he was also hitting the stage, performing at frat and sorority parties with his band, the Escorts. But at the start of his junior year, he left Syracuse to chase an opportunity to be a full-time musician at a Borscht Belt resort in the Catskills. And that decision changed everything. From 1965 to 1972, Cavalere played keyboards and sang for the Young Rascals, later known simply as the Rascals. They crushed the charts with 3 US #1 hits and became a major force in rock music. Then in 1980, Cavalere released his solo hit, Only a Lonely Heart Sees. It climbed to number 36 on the Billboard Hot 100 and hit number 2 on the Adult Contemporary chart. Smooth, emotional, and timeless, it became his biggest solo success. Though he released other tracks like Good to Have Love Back, none of them hit with the same cultural impact. Now at number 5, New Romance, by Spider. Let's talk about a song that totally screams early 80s, with a music video full of big hair, shiny outfits, and catchy tunes. That song was New Romance by the band Spider. This track came out in 1980 and became the band's biggest hit, even though it became the band's only hit, reaching 39th position on the Billboard Hot 100. Not bad for a group that most people don't even remember today. Spider was a band from New York and formed in 1977. They only lasted till 1984, but they made some noise while they were here. One of their members, Holly Knight, played keyboards and helped write the songs, later became a famous songwriter, writing huge hits for Tina Turner, Pat Benatar, and more. And their drummer, Anton Fig, went on to play on Late Night with David Letterman. Number 4, Rapper's Delight, by the Sugar Hill Gang. Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang was released in 1979 and quickly became one of the most important songs in music history in 1980. It was the first rap single to ever make it onto the Billboard Hot 100, reaching number 36. It was fun, energetic, and full of personality. The lyrics were playful and the rhythm infectious. It even introduced mainstream audiences to hip-hop and made the world pay attention to a brand new sound coming out of the Bronx. Even though the Sugar Hill Gang never scored another hit as big as this one, Rapper's Delight became a milestone. It turned hip-hop into a force in popular music. It was more than just a catchy tune. It was a movement. Number 3, Whip It by DEVO. Now this song is weird in the best way possible. Whip It by DEVO dropped in 1980, and no one really saw it coming. With its robotic vocals, zapping synths, and totally bizarre music video featuring red energy dome hats, it became an instant cult classic. The song climbed to number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100 and basically defined DEVO's quirky style. The lyrics were strange, almost like a motivational speech gone off the rails. Lines like, "When a problem comes along, you must whip it," became iconic because it sounded cool and rebellious. The track's stiff, mechanical rhythm and vibrant energy made it feel like a song from the future. Whip It became DEVO's biggest hit and solidified their place in music history. Even though they never had another song that charted as high, their influence went way beyond the charts. Number 2. Ashes by Now by Rodney Crowell. It may not have topped every chart, but left a deep mark on country and Americana music charts was Ashes by Now. Also released in 1980, this track blends heartbreak with energy, mixing soft vocals with a driving beat.
Your love is elusive, this I know now.
Crowell originally wrote the song in the 1970s, but it gained more attention when he recorded it himself for his album But What Will the Neighbors Think? The lyrics paint a picture of someone realizing too late that their relationship has fallen apart. With lines like, "This morning is Monday, where are you now?" Crowell captured that aching moment when love starts to fade and all that's left are the ashes. It reached number 37 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart. And now, number 1. Love Me Over Again by Don Williams. Already a known voice in country music by the late 70s, with his smooth, calming style, Don Williams finally hit big with Love Me Over Again. The song captured hearts across America, becoming a defining hit of that year. His laid-back sound stood out in a world of loud voices and fast beats. For a moment, Don was everywhere on the radio, in concert halls and on country charts. But just as quietly as he rose, he stepped back. The spotlight slowly moved on, and Don didn't chase it. Chasing fame just wasn't his style, and his fans respected that. Though he kept making music, his 1980 success remains a quiet landmark in country history, as his fans still call him the gentle giant who let the music speak for itself. Thanks for watching. If you know of a one-hit wonder you'd like us to cover, let us know in the comment section below.